Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button. Leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have the Ace of Swords, truth. I think you are somebody who, you have a mission in life, for one thing. I feel like you know kind of what you're all about, and you know what you want to do with your time here, okay? I feel like you do have a quest that is meant for you, okay? And I feel like you're getting some clarity about what that is, yeah. I feel like you're the type of person that wants clarity. You don't want people to sugarcoat things for you. You don't want people to tell you what you want to hear. It's kind of like, give it to me straight, you know? You're someone that values honesty. I think that you always try to do the right thing. And I think you have really like a zero tolerance attitude for people that are going to lie to you. I feel like that's kind of like your number one, like, oh, no, right? Is people that are dishonest with you. Okay, because I think you try to be very honest with other people and you sort of expect that in return. And if somebody's not going to be, well, that's fine for them. But they're not going to be part of your inner circle, right? So let's put this card into a little bit of context. This, to me, feels like we're clearing our mind and we're ready to receive the divine information, the download, right? We're ready for the truth. We're ready to see, what's in store for our lives. So let's get some answers. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. There we have an Emperor energy. We've got a Seven of Wands underneath. You've got let's move that. You've got a Knight of Pentacles behind you. You've got, a Princess of Wands up top. And you have a Four of Swords in the future position. On the path of the Serpent, we have a Five of Pentacles, a Five of Swords, a Nine of Swords, and 10 of Cups. How refreshing. We're trying to avoid the Nine of Swords, right? That's the card we don't want anyway. That's our fear, right? That's our fear, and it's sort of it's our fear of being afraid. It's our fear of being miserable, of our fear of kind of not having clarity and not knowing why we're here, right? I think in a way the Nine of Swords is interesting because it's kind of like we're afraid of being like lied to. We're afraid of of not knowing the truth about something. But I feel like we'd rather know than not know. So it's like even if the truth is painful, you'd rather hear it than to just kind of walk around, blissfully ignorant, right? So I like that. I think that's a good position for that card where it's there. We can keep our eye on it, but it's not directly affecting anything at the moment, Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. And now we're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. Let's use our intuition, okay? Now, let's look around the room, because the major arcana card that we see is the Emperor. And it's sort of the obstacle right now. I feel like what you are being called on to do in your life is make some very important decisions based on the revelation of this truth. Okay? That is your work. That is your obstacle right now, is to be that Emperor. Okay? We've got fire and fire here. We have water at the end. right? But to get to the water, we've got to go through the air, the air, the air, the air, and of course this earth energy. All right. I don't know who is involved in your life, or if this is, I don't feel like this is really about, I don't feel like this is about another person necessarily. I feel like it's about relationships in general, but I feel like you have to make a decision. I feel like you're getting a revelation of truth in your life. And with that, you have to activate this Emperor energy. It could be that you're sort of learning something about an authority figure already in your life. Maybe it's kind of a boss at work. Maybe it has to do with, well, it could be an older family member or something along these lines. But I think the revelation here, the truth, the download that you're receiving is going to give you, it's going to give you some confidence about what decision to make. It's going to give you perhaps the clear choice, okay? Because I feel like right now there's some uncertainty. We see the 5s and the 9 over here. It's kind of like we're wondering. We don't want to remain in this confusion and in this worry and in this mental stress. We certainly don't want it to devolve into downright misery and anxiety with the 9 of Swords. So we're asking for clarity. We're getting clarity, and I think it's going to bring us the confidence to make the decision that we need to make. Okay, the Emperor is the one that has to do what's best for the realm. Right? We have to do what's best for our entire being, our entire life, and it's going to have consequences, right? It's going to, we realize that the decisions we make right now are either going to bring us a 9 of Swords or we're going to get that 10 of Cups. And it seems like the choice is clear. We want the 10 of Cups, right? Not the 9 of Swords. I don't even want to say the name. So we're looking for the clarity. We're looking for the removal of any doubt, the removal of any uncertainty, so that we can say, yes, that's the decision that I need to make. That is the direction I'm taking my life. And what we can do, therefore, is sort of rest easy. Okay, with that four of Swords. But the real difficulty, I think, is the decision that we have to make, and the authority, the leadership that we need to sort of assume. You know, we need to take on that leadership role, and I think we're saying that, you know, I need to take my life in a certain direction. Okay, that we've been perhaps trying to force something to work. And I think we're getting some clarity now that is telling us either how to do it differently to make it work, or what direction we need to take to get around the obstacle or get through the obstacle. But I feel like the 7 of Wands underneath everything, this is underneath the surface in you. Okay, this is a feeling of valor. Okay, this is the feeling that we are fighting for something and we don't want to give up on it. Okay. I think subconsciously there is an effort to continue fighting for something even when there's a growing conscious perception that perhaps this exact technique is not working anymore. It doesn't mean we have to give up on the thing or the person or the relationship or the job or the endeavor or the project or whatever. But it may mean that we have to choose a different way to go about facing this obstacle. Okay. Very often this is saying that we're feeling some kind of disharmony about things. Something is not working as well as we thought it would. Okay. I feel like this card is your ability to commit to things. Okay. You're not a quitter. You don't give up. If you're going to walk away from something, you're going to make darn sure that it's the right move. Okay, because you don't give up easily. It's like you've got your own back, you know, no matter what. So if there is this decision to do something else, go in a different direction, or leave a situation, or to say, okay, I need to do things a different way, it's going to be a decision that came with a lot of thought. And a lot of worry, a lot of, I think, sleepless nights, especially over here with the 5 and the 5. We're sort of contemplating change. We're stressed out about what to do. There are worries in the environment here. There are challenges that we're facing. And I guess the choice is kind of like between continuing to bang the thing with the hammer that we've been using, or with the Princess of Wands, this is kind of, to me, this feels a little bit more free, a little bit more experimental, you know? And this kind of feels like this is our conscious kind of idea. You know, this is like what we kind of want. This is what we're looking at. And it may feel as if we are verging on being reckless or abandoning our quest, or we're being kind of careless or impulsive with this card. But that's because you have this underneath the surface subconscious commitment to fight for something no matter what the reality of it is. It's kind of like saying, I'm going to go down with the ship no matter what, right? Whereas the Princess of Wands is saying, let's just experiment. Let's do something differently. Let's have a little bit of freedom. Let's get creative, you know. Maybe there is a feeling right now for you that there's a lack of creativity, or that your creativity is being blocked. Maybe at work we feel like you have the answers, you know what to do, and so forth, but there's some inhibitory force, and maybe that's the Emperor there, feeling like you're kind of dealing with this authority figure that's not allowing you to be your full creative self. Because what your goal is to experiment, to be free, to be spontaneous, to create, to have that space, to feel as if you're being given that space in life, to try new things, try different things, okay? Rather than perhaps with the Emperor having to do things the certain way because that's the process, because that's the way it was written down in the standard operating procedures. You know, the Princess of Wands does not like standard operating procedures, but that's what the Emperor is all about. This is what I've said, this is what we're doing, and the Princess is saying, well, I want to do something completely different. Yeah, this is a very creative but very impulsive kind of energy, wants to dabble in different things, wants to mix together different things just to see what's going to happen. Okay? So it really is a great contrast between what we're doing here with the 7 of Wands is saying, I'm going to use the same tool and I'm just going to keep banging on it until it works. This is like, I can't get the picture on the TV, so I'm just going to keep banging it on the side of the TV. Remember those old TVs used to bang it and things would come into focus a little bit? And they're saying, I'm just going to keep doing that because that's always worked before and it should always work again. Whereas the Princess of Wands is kind of like, well, let's take it apart and look at it. Let's fiddle with some different things. Let's turn it around. Let's unplug it, plug it back in. Let's jiggle the wires. Let's do different things to see what's going to happen, to see what's going to work, right? And I feel like your boss energy, your Emperor energy that is you, this spiritual force, this spiritual quality in you has to sort of decide which way to go. Do we keep doing what we've been doing and hope that it eventually will work? Or do we allow ourselves to experiment and have this creative freedom and take the sort of calculated risk here of doing something a little bit unorthodox, a little bit out of the ordinary? Okay. Now, in the previous position behind you, the recent past, I think you had a pretty clear path forward. You know. I feel like, because the Knight of Pentacles is sort of looking at the summit of the mountain and thinking, okay, I know how to get there. I see the road, right? So I feel like very recently you started on this new thing, this new project, and you had a vision of it and how to get to it, right? And I think it's sort of, you've reached a point where it's like, I need a little bit of clarity. It's like we've reached a point in the road where it's like, there's a tree branch fell in the road, or it's kind of washed out by water or something, or it's cloudy and misty up ahead. I don't really know which way to go. I got to figure something out. Do I just go straight where I think the road should be? Or do I let the Princess of Wands just kind of experiment? Maybe we get higher ground. Maybe we sort of go on a little detour. We look around for other clues, you know. So I think in the very recent past, you you made this commitment to this quest, right? I feel like this is you kind of feeling the driving force that kind of says, I want to do this. I want to start this project. I want to, I want to go after this promotion, or maybe you started a new job recently. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe it's a new art project, a new skill that you're trying to learn, a sport that you're trying to master, something, or whatever it might be. Okay, it could be an art project or something. But the Knight of Pentacles is always looking at the future. Okay, and I think what the Knights of the Tarot are always looking at the tens. Okay, and typically we'd be looking at a 10 of Pentacles, but I think you're looking at the 10 of Cups, and you're thinking, okay, that's where I could get the 10 of Cups. I think, as this, the background energy of the reading today, I feel like you've had a vision that says, hey, this is the path that could bring me the most happiness and satisfaction. But I got to really go through HE double hockey sticks to get there, right? Which is all of this stuff here, which is all of this. To get from here to here, you got to go through the briar patch. Okay? And so you're thinking, okay, well, right now at my current juncture, what am I supposed to do? Okay, but I feel like the Emperor energy really is, it may be that there's some kind of energy blocking your choices, or there could be this feeling that you're not being allowed the creative freedom in your life that you want, And it could be that you're blocking your own creativity, but it could be that there's like a boss or something like this, a supervisor or manager, if it's a work thing. Or it could just be that there is generally this energy that's saying now is not the time where you really should be all this spontaneous and creative and experimental. Now's the time to stick with what you know, to stick with what has been tried and true. The 7 of Wands, even if it no longer works, this is what everybody's always done. This is what you've always done. We should just keep doing it, right? So you have to make this decision about kind of what your next moves are. But in the future position, the very near future, you're going to have a peace. You're going to have a calm. You're going to be able to rest assured that you made the right decision because you're waiting for this spiritual download. You're kind of, I think you're clearing your mind. We're trying to get away from the stress that we see here, and we're trying to invoke clarity. This is what you're really after. This is kind of the central energy of the reading, right? This need for clarity, the need to really see the truth and see the way forward. Okay, and the obstacle is for you to, of course, have the authority, assume the responsibility, and make the decision based on that clarity, even though you're feeling the worry and the stress, So this is not an easy thing, but the 4 of Swords in the future position is very promising. In the very near future, you will feel this relaxation. You can put your mind at rest. Your mind will be at ease because you have made the decision from this spiritual power center in you. Okay? And you can rest assured that this is continuing on the journey toward that 10 of Cups. Okay, that this is the path that's going to make you absolutely full of bliss and happiness. This is going to fill you completely up. Okay? And we're sort of, we're getting the certainty and the clarity with that Ace of Swords that's saying, okay, now I know, now I can just I can stretch at my ease and I can go through the briar patch knowing that it's going to work out for me, right? Knowing that this is going to lead to a full life. It's going to lead to my best self, my best life, a dream come true. Okay, making the right decision based on clarity. The Emperor is making a good decision here. Right, the Emperor is sticking to the truth and going forward with peace. Right, this is we're no longer fighting about this with ourselves or with anybody else. So there's a resolution here. Okay, it could be that you and another person maybe have conflicting visions of what this path should be or how to proceed. Okay, I feel like you're taking the lead on something, definitely. Whether this is just you, or it's a group of people, or it's just you and a friend, you and a family member, you and your partner, I feel like you're taking the lead somewhere, okay? And I think you're really saying that, look, now's the time for us to kind of diversify, experiment, be spontaneous, be creative. Let's try different things. Now's not the time to keep banging the thing with the hammer, hoping that it'll work, right? And so I think you're kind of taking the initiative to say, this is what we got to do, okay? And you're doing it in a way that's, I think, diplomatic with yourself, and whether this is between ego consciousness and true self, or if this is between other people in your group. I think there's going to be a harmony and a kind of a calm, compromise, diplomatic kind of energy going on. But it definitely is you taking the lead here. But I think the other people are going to be like trusting in you, you know? So the way forward, I think, is to make a decision with confidence and with authority, okay? And not reveal the uncertainty that we may still be feeling, right? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are free. So the general energy is the Five of Pentacles, and this is worry. This is saying that there are material things right now in the world, physical things that aren't really the way I want them to be. It's like we can recognize problems and we realize it needs to be fixed. This is the appearance of the obstacle. We feel a disharmony. This is a card of change. It's a 5. Anytime we get a 5, it's really, this is the physical environment, right? The pentacles, the discs. It's in the physical world, something is trying to get your attention. Yeah, this could be physical body, could be something that has to do with health and well-being. Okay, so when we get this card, maybe it's suggesting that there is that there's some sort of pain or discomfort in your body that you've been ignoring. You want to pay attention to it. This is your body's way of saying, look here, look at me. And I always use the example, it's like you stub your toe is throbbing, it's hurting, it's in agony, right? And we're just like, God, I wonder where that pain's coming from. The toe is screaming, look at me, right? This could be coming from the financial realm. This could be coming from, the physical environment where there is, a blockage in front of you, where there is an obstacle in your path, okay? So I feel that this is the recognition that something's not right. I need to look at it, and I need to figure it out. Okay, so what you're bringing to the table here, this is, again, your general energy, is your ability to recognize problems and not hide away from problems. You don't just you don't put your head in the sand and forget about it. No, you say, okay, there's a problem. Let's look at it. Whether it's physical or financial, whether it's your health or your wealth, I think you're like, okay, I need to look at it. I need to address it. I need to find out what it is so that we can fix it. Okay, so to me, you feel like a fixer. And it feels like your Emperor energy is kind of standing up and saying, I know how to fix it. I don't want anybody to argue with me. Just let me do what I do. Let me do the thing, Spirit's saying something about working from home. I don't know if you have worked from home, or if you are currently working from home, or if that's maybe the decision that you're trying to make. Okay, I don't know if that's kind of if it's the issue of, do I just keep doing what I've always been doing, even though the world's changing and it doesn't seem to be working anymore? Or do I try something else? And do I try experimenting? Do I kind of, do I get creative with it and see what might happen? It's kind of like down here with these two cards, we know that doing the same old thing is going to give us the same old thing. This is like we've been banging the thing with the hammer and it's not working. It hasn't fixed itself, right? So the Emperor is saying we need a new tool. We need a new technique to use. Okay? So this is kind of an unconscious thing. And I think, in a subconscious level, you are somebody who is sort of used to doing things a certain way, and maybe it's the way we were raised. Maybe it's just our nature. We find a way or a method, a protocol that works, and we keep doing it. It makes sense, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, if it is broke, do fix it, right? And so it's the idea of we're not going to change anything unless we recognize that there's a need to change it. It's in anything. You're running a business and the business is going well. Everything's doing great. Every month you see growth and it's wonderful. You're not going to go and rebrand. You're not going to go and say, well, let's change our advertising campaign. Let's change our store hours. No, you're going to keep doing more of what's working, right? And you may add in some little spicy things here and there, but we go to these chain restaurants, right? And we try to avoid the chain restaurants. I mean, it's hard to avoid them; they're everywhere, but there are some really, really great ones out there. But there's consistency across the board. They've figured the menu generally is the same because it works. Every once in a while, you sprinkle in a little extra menu item or something, and keeps it fun, right? But if it's not working, if the business is declining, well, then you're going to really, really, really change things. So perhaps what we're looking for here is not just one or the other, but a clear balance between let's stay with what's been working. Okay, let's keep what has been working. Let's do other things to add to it. Okay, but if it's not working, well, then let's not keep doing those things. Okay, let's get rid of what doesn't work, keep what does, and add in some new creative sprinkles of some new things anyway. And I think that method is really going to create the success that you're looking for here. Okay, the Five of Swords is the mental stress. The Five of Swords is a lot of thought going on. Like you really, I think, have been spending a lot of time talking about this. This is in terms of your relationships. It's in the position of your relationships. I think your relationships are strained right now. I think that stress is causing us to be maybe a little bit short-tempered with people. We kind of feel like everybody's a critic. We're just like, we're not in our happiest selves at the moment, And I think that's why we're not getting the water energy until the end, because the Emperor's got to say, okay, you know what? I need clarity. I need to make a decision. Everybody stop talking. Let me think. Okay? It feels like that energy right now. It feels like you don't want the distractions because you got to figure something out. Maybe this is a big debt that's coming up. Here in the U.S., tax season is approaching. So, this could be some financial concerns, right? And we don't need the distractions. People are trying to talk to us about the weather or about the sports teams, and we're just like stressed, So I feel like we need to get clarity. We need to have a plan. We need to have a decision and have a plan. And then we can rest. Okay, then we can be calm. And really, this is perhaps where we're at here. We're going from a 5 to a 4, 5 to a 4. We need the plan. Okay, perhaps the Ace of Swords is saying, let's have some clarity. Let's have this Emperor energy give us some time and space to sit quietly and figure out a plan, and then initiate that plan and tell everybody this is the plan. And then we can rest and we can enjoy the next few months, knowing that if we just stick to the plan, everything's going to be okay. If we just stick to the budget, things are going to work out great. Okay? And then I think our experience of life will change. We'll no longer feel quite the stress about this. I think just having a plan is really the way to go here. Whether it's a business plan, whether it's a personal financial plan, a health plan, whether it's a plan of our general life for the next couple of weeks or months, or whatever the time frame is, having a plan, a step-by-step kind of thing. We're trying to get out of debt. Okay, well, we just got to just slowly save this much money, pay off these bills, and stick to the budget, and we'll be okay. That is going to do wonders for your relationships. That's going to do wonders for your peace of mind. We're going to have this in the short term. We're going to have relaxation. In the short term, you're going to get to stop worrying about it, okay? We're going to avoid the Nine of Swords. I don't even like to bring this card up. Every card has light and shadow. This card mostly shadow, right? But the good news is that at least we're dealing with it, right? And we're recognizing that, look, I don't want to. This situation has the potential to get really freaking bad. This is something that if we stay in this stressful mode, if we stay with this 5 and this 5, I know it doesn't quite add up to a 9. It would be a 10 of Swords, but this is pretty darn close. Okay. The stress that we will feel will just continue to get worse and worse and worse. As the situation gets worse, our mental state gets worse. And then as our thoughts and stuff start to decline and spiral out, then the situation starts to kind of get away from us and it gets worse, you know. But let's say this is financial. If we don't have a plan, we're just worried, and then we keep seeing the problem, and then we worry more, and we just watch the money just go away. We're going to devolve into this. I mean, this is really anxiety. This is depression. This is misery. This is my health is declining because I'm not sleeping at night. Okay, this is what we want to avoid. This is what we want to avoid. It's the energy that we don't want. It's our fear. The fear is that things are going to just be torn apart, rather than brought together and harmonized in this beautiful 10 of Cups that we have at the end. This is the gorgeous, gorgeous card. And this is satiety. This is fullness. This is everything is in abundance, right? If this is a financial thing, which, maybe this is, there's going to be more than enough. Every cup is going to be filled. And this is kind of like if we stick to the budget, everything will be perfect. Now, we're going to always be on guard, let's say, against any sort of unexpected things that come in. There are always variables. We want to protect this, which means that every once in a while we got to kind of look over the budget, look over our expenses and say, okay, we're doing good, we're on track. So then we can rest easy knowing that the final outcome, the long-term future, is going to be happiness and abundance. Short-term, let's get a plan and let's relax. Long-term, we're going to always be mindful that the 9 of Swords is very close to the 10 of Cups. It's just a hair's breadth away, right, from complete disaster. So we have to be vigilant and we have to be paying attention, okay? But we need to just kind of relax with this once we have that plan, knowing that our long-term future is going to be very happy and very, very abundant, successful, fulfilling, satisfying, all these great qualities, blissed out, right? This is really the water energy that we've been missing. Okay, let's look at the mystery card. Let's see what that unknown and infinite factor is underneath Tiny Bob Ross. I don't want anything too significant. I would like to see a 6 of Swords, that we kind of, here's the budget, here's the plan. I would like to see, I think a 6 of Swords would be great. A 6 of Cups would be wonderful, to kind of show that, hey, our relationships are improving, and that's kind of like we're sticking together, maybe a 6 of Pentacles too. I think any of the 6s would be great right now. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so we're saving money. We're choosing very carefully when to let go of our money. Right? This is something we're clinging to. We don't want to let go of it. This is us securing a foundation. This is kind of, we're prioritizing things. We're working on first things first. We're doing things in a step-by-step order. So you have a plan and you are implementing that plan. Nothing is going to work if we don't actually change our behaviors, right? So I like that we have the 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords. We have the 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. The stress calming down. Your mind is going to be able to relax and unwind because you got the plan. And not only do you have the plan, but you're going to see the improvements in the physical realm too, because you're doing the right things. And the 4 of Pentacles reminds us that it's going to be a step-by-step process. It's not going to happen overnight. But if we stick to the plan, we can enjoy our life a little bit. We can relax. Our relationships will improve. We'll see the numbers getting better. Okay? But this is somebody who is holding on to this disc, this pentacle, and really like looking at the budget, do I really need to spend this $1 right now? Do I really need to spend it? Okay, I'm spending it, right? So we're prioritizing. We're not making it rain, we're not throwing money everywhere. We're trying to be conservative. Okay, and I think that's, and I don't know that this is about money now. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know too much about this. But I feel like this is you being very cautious about what your next move is. This is a conservative kind of protective energy for you. Okay, and maybe we're talking about energy more than something in the physical realm. But I think because we have the pentacles, there is something around here that's we're identifying the problem. We're being very cautious about how to move forward. We're fixing the problem. Okay, and we're trying to do it with the minimal amount of loss or waste or kind of a loss of energy, right? So I feel like we're trying to implement a plan here that's going to be, let's get rid of what's not working and let's hang on to what is working. Let's be a little bit experimental, but not too much. We don't want the Princess of Wands to just kind of go wild and wasteful, right? Because let's say the Princess of Wands, this is somebody that's going to spend money like it's going out of style, right? Maybe would be more like a Princess of Pentacles, but the Princess of Wands pretty much likes to do a lot of stuff, doesn't really care about resources, feels the impulse, does it, doesn't think about consequences. So we're aware of this. We need a little bit of that because that's we got to take some risks. And this is kind of like saying, well, we know the odds, and so we don't want to be too risky, right? So we need a nice blend of the kind of risk-taking and then kind of not risk-taking. So I like the Four of Pentacles. I think this is a very positive card here. We're going to do an extended reading as well. Because this is a bonus reading, we're just going to go straight into it. That way, if you decide that you want to join the channel and see all of the extended readings, not just for Leo, but for every sign, you can click on the link in the corner, or there's also a link down below in the video description. Okay, so we're just going to go straight into it. We're going to do an I Ching reading. We're going to do some oracle cards. We'll do more tarot cards. Let's get to it. Well, first thing is the I Ching hexagram, and today your hexagram is hexagram 62. Kind of looks like somebody walking a tightrope here, right? Trying to balance. Hexagram 62, the small excess. Above the mountain there's thunder, small excess. You, in your behavior, you will exceed in courtesy. In loss, you will exceed in sorrow. In work, you will exceed in economy. The economy of the Four of Pentacles, perhaps, right? Small success, right? Worthwhile to persevere. It's appropriate for small affairs, but not appropriate for great affairs. The flying bird leaves behind its message. If not fit to ascend, then fit to descend. Okay, this is going to be great good fortune. Let's read the commentary, see how this really plays out. The small excesses. Maybe that is this idea of find those little small things. This isn't about, like, when we're looking at our budget, we're not thinking of, these big bills that we have to pay. We're looking at those little trickles of energy or money, time, effort, energy, or money that are sort of leaking out. It's like, oh, it's $5 a day on this coffee thing. Or it's, like, I don't know, I realize I'm paying for all these TV subscriptions to things I don't even watch anymore. Those little things in excess may be where we need to plug some leaks, okay? And we may not be talking about finances. We may be talking about energy. We may be talking about creativity, okay? That's kind of saying, like, look, I might have more energy to accomplish my goals here if I were to, kind of realize where my leakages are, my energetic leakages, okay? So I think that small excess is important here. Be extra humble, extra mournful, and extra thrifty. You can have success in small things, but not big things. By avoiding overextending yourself and instead staying grounded, great things will come. Thunder from the mountain. Err on the side of caution, but still don't try to err very much, Respect for the powers that be permits appropriate achievement. Excess is not a healthy long-term objective for finite and vulnerable beings. Ground your flights of fancy. Bend over backwards to be correct. To aim high now would be to put yourself out of accord with the times. Signifies the slight excess or small mistakes that can prevent the achievement. Adapt yourself to the inner and outer events, being conscientious. Okay, I think that is absolutely on point. You're bending over backward to be correct. You are the emperor, right? Taking charge here. I think this hexagram, as they always are, is absolutely right and always relevant. The I Ching blows me away every time. I can't stress that enough. Every extended reading that we do, the I Ching just seems to know exactly what we're talking about and to just sort of express things in a very succinct way, And I love the I Ching. It's probably one of my favorite systems. Let's do an angel number as a mystery card. And we're going to do an empowerment oracle. Now, I think you have been dealing with some inflammation lately, right? Spirit's saying something, I'm kind of seeing like a glowing, like a body that's just kind of glowing red. Like I feel like you have some kind of inflammation that's going on in your life, yeah. Let's see, cosmic attraction. I am a powerful star, drawing success to myself like gravity. I pull from the cosmos everything I need to succeed. Okay, everything that we need, right? Because we realize that there are other things out there. This is us using the same tool for the same job, but it's not getting fixed. We keep banging it with a hammer, but it's not, somehow the picture's not getting any more clear, right? So we realize that we have to open ourselves up. We have to receive the wisdom from the divine, right, in order to activate our emperor and make the right decisions and know the way forward, and then have the discipline of the emperor, the discipline and the authority and the leadership to make sure that the plan gets into place and people follow the plan, right? It's not enough to just, I got the plan, I put the budget in, in this computer. No, you got to follow the budget. You got to make sure your family follows the budget. Like it has to be functioning, So I like that. Let's do an oracle of the radiant sun. The endurance. Yeah, I think, in the background here, you've gone through hardships before. You know how to weather the storms, I think that this is... this is a pause, perhaps, on the path as you look at the obstacles and you figure out what's the best way to get through these obstacles. Brute force, take the hammer, bang it, or do we need to get a little creative here? Do we need to get a little spicy, do something different? Yeah. So the endurance, I think that you knew that the path was going to be challenging. That doesn't bother you, right? In fact, we're bothered only in the sense that right now that we're stressed out about the situation and we're trying to figure it out. When you have these two cards, everyone may say, oh gosh, why are you so upset? Why are you so stressed out? Why are you depressed? No, this is good. The fives, right? Because you're looking at the problem and you're using your mind to fix the problem. You're thinking about the problem. And you're trying to open yourself up to creative ideas and inspiration to solve the problems. But this is, people think, oh, you're in a bad mood, or why are you so upset? No, you're working on something. There's a massive difference between a 9 of swords and the 5 and the 5. Now, of course, if this goes on too long, right, it's going to become a 9 of swords. But this is the way you're supposed to be. You're supposed to see the problem and think about the problem, try to figure it out. Okay, you're not supposed to be this way perpetually, because this is a stress response that if it's carried on too long, it's going to really harm you. But the stress response is good. We want to be able to respond to stress. We want to see a problem and then sort of wrap our brain around it and fix it, figure it out. You're doing what you're supposed to do here, and I think that's the endurance. Or I think some people, maybe most people, wouldn't want to do this, wouldn't want to face the problem, right? Let's do a creativity oracle, which is appropriate for the princess here. The wish granted. Believe in your abilities as a magic maker to manifest your wishes. They will soon be your reality. Okay? Let the Princess of Wands be sort of inspired and be creative and dance with the tiger, right? Believe that you are, that you're magic and that you're going to create your dream come true, your wish fulfilled, wish granted. And so you're allowing yourself to get a little creative. You're allowing yourself to sort of feel that, and you're giving yourself a little bit of freedom, a little bit of room to try new things, to experiment. Okay. Let's do the future position with the Metatron Oracle. The endings. You are held. Yeah, so I feel like this is just now we got the path, and we just need to take the steps, and we'll get to all that water. We'll get to that beautiful ocean of bliss at the end, and we will find the sunrise. So the endings, you are held. It's kind of saying if once you've got the path in place, once you've got the plan and the budget, all you got to do is walk straight. All you got to do is follow that. You don't want to walk off to the side and end up in the drink. No, you want to go straight forward to that sunrise. Okay? So I feel like if you follow the plan with calm and peace and, of course, clarity and authority and vigilance, discipline, if you follow the path, you're going to get that sunrise. Okay? Now, we're going to do the path of the serpent here we're going to use Rider-Waite-Smith. Or rather, I should say the Pamela Smith. We've got the Lovers. We've got the King of Swords. There's the Six of Cups. And we've got the High Priestess. Very nice. The Lovers card to me is a choice. It's because of your devotion to this job, this family, this career, this business that you're running, whatever this thing is for you. It's because of your devotion to it that you're willing to address the problems. So I feel like this is right where it's supposed to be. You're inspired. You're inspired that you want to focus on this. You want to see it and say, okay, I know how to put this back together. I know how to fix it. I'm going to do it. Because of your commitment. That's the Lover's card. It's the commitment. It's the devotion that we have towards something, right? And the King of Swords is now a fixed air energy. This is not fixed air. This is very dynamic air. We're thinking about it. Our thoughts are swirling around. Now, nope. Now I got the plan, and all I've got to do now is stick to the plan. That becomes my mission, not figuring out what to do, not pulling my hair out and stressing out. Now my mission becomes sticking to the plan. So it's different. It's a shift, right? And then, of course, we've got the Six of Cups. We've got love and joy and community and togetherness, family, right? We've got pleasure instead of the pain of the Nine of Swords. We're getting the love. We're getting the support from the people around you, okay? And I think that really is like, in this case, we're working together, whether it's with your business, your coworkers, or your family, or your partner, your spouse, or something. Or it's even in yourself. It's kind of like you're supporting and you're being supported. And that's going to make the path a lot easier. Okay? I think the Six of Cups is also saying that, we don't have to punish ourselves. We can still be kind to ourselves and to others. Okay? So it's sometimes the Four of Pentacles, I don't even want to spend money on food. We're just not going to eat, right? No. You're still going to take care of yourself and your people. You're still going to show love and affection and support, and we're going to find different ways to do it, The High Priestess at the end here with the Ten of Cups, we're trusting in the universe. We're trusting in ourselves. The High Priestess is the intuition. The High Priestess is the card of trust. The High Priestess is card number 2. Card number 3 is the Empress. Card number 3 is that best life. The High Priestess is always showing you the way to the Empress energy, to your best life, to that fulfillment, that absolute luxury and pleasure and fulfillment, happiness, bliss, right? Being your best self, living your best life. I mean, it's the ultimate achievement, the ultimate pleasure and success, right? The Empress. And we're trusting the High Priestess. We're trusting ourselves. We're trusting the intuition. We're trusting the plan. We're trusting our people that we're going to get there. Okay? And so we have that peace of mind from the Four of Swords and the Four of Pentacles that just says, if I if I focus and stick to the plan, I'm trusting that everything's going to be absolutely beautiful. Let's do the mystery card. Angel number 0606, the commitment, the lover's card. Loyalty, responsibility, truth, love light, spiritual realm, growth, and solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up for the best is yet to come. Yeah. Applying your honesty, applying your truth, applying your clarity. Okay. Focusing on sort of, harmonizing with your people, strengthening your relationships, getting everybody kind of working together. You're going to find solutions, the Six of Cups. You're going to find comfort rather than pain. Okay. So this is excellent. I love these cards that we have. And I want to thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.